I won't stop till I hear him say,
Alrighty, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. In today's video breakdown, I have an absolute banger going down the rabbit hole for you all today, diving into these PDFs, showing you all how deep the rabbit hole goes, connecting the dots. We're going to be talking about the BIS, the IMF, CPMI, the BAFT. If you don't know these acronyms, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because I'm about to blow your mind. Again, showing you all how integrated Ripple is to restitching our financial ecosystem behind the scenes. I'd first like to take your attention over to the Twitter space regarding a tweet that King Solomon tweeted out just today or the other day, I believe. And he said, when the utility coins finally do their things in this market, the people that have been boringly talking about them for years will be looked at as geniuses. I'm about to show you exactly what it is that he's referring to in this video breakdown, piecing parts of the puzzle together for you all. If you enjoy deep dives like this, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. We do appreciate the love and the support. I ask that all of my viewers, right? I really do appreciate it if you would do this for me. Share this video breakdown with other XRP enthusiasts, with other utility-driven asset investors. Share this video breakdown, showing you all how deep the rabbit hole goes. Okay, so let's jump over to the documents. I have a couple of PDFs to share with you all today and a couple of fundamentals, showing you all how deep the rabbit hole goes. So we're going to first discuss this PDF. Again, pay attention to these elite key entities who are involved in these PDFs and these working papers. So this PDF just came out January 2023 from the BIS, exploring multilateral platforms for cross-border payments. And here we see the CPMI, the Committee on Payments and Markets Infrastructure. This is going to play an important role later on, so pay attention to this acronym. We also see the International Monetary Fund. Obviously, of course, that's going to play an important role to a document that I have later as well. And then we see the World Banking Group for this specific breakdown. This one is not going to play too much of an important role. However, they are a key elite entity. So scrolling down here, reading some of the key highlights on this specific PDF that are going to take us down the rabbit hole. It talks about, via the introduction, multilateral platforms can help meet growing demand for new and improved cross-border payment services that is driven by deeper economic and financial integration at both global and regional levels. Furthermore, payment service providers, PSPs, may see multilateral platforms as a more efficient back-end solution for implementing their digitalization and strategies for tapping new business areas, especially in the retail payment segment. In this context, multilateral platforms often need to implement new and improved functionalities such as multi or cross-currency settlement. So I'll pause right there where it mentions cross-currency settlement and how multilateral platforms are pretty much meeting growing demand for new and improved cross-border payment services, right? Coming over here, this is a document straight from Ripple.com. New Ripple settlement and FX solutions lower in total cost of settlement for banks and their customers. And it specifically mentions that Ripple has launched 2 new solutions for licensed cross-currency settlements and FX marketing. Again, paying attention, linking up the vocabulary. They're not just going to blatantly go out and say this. Now watch again the vocabulary correlation that I pieced together later on in this document. So here we see the mention of cross-currency settlements and that Ripple has launched 2 new solutions on such things. Okay, coming back to this document. So scrolling down here to page 19, this is where it starts to get interesting. It says multilateral platforms have the potential to enhance cross-border payments, but involve more complicated legal and operational issues that may exuberate certain risks relative to domestic payment systems. Thus, any decision or actions to increase the role of multilateral platforms should be based on the prudent consideration of relevant trade-offs, including not only the added risks relative to domestic systems, but the full scope of benefits and risks relative to existing cross-border payments arrangements. These considerations vary depending on the current state of cross-border payment arrangements in a specific geographical region or for a specific payment system function, as well as on purpose and chosen approach for expanding the use of multilateral platforms. This is where we're going to get into the vocab. It says, as an illustrative example, consider a baseline scenario which a domestic wholesale payment system exists in one jurisdiction, A, and a regional multilateral platform also for wholesale payments connects 2 jurisdictions, B and C. If the aim is to enable all participants across 3 jurisdictions to reach each other via the payment systems as opposed to via correspondent banking, which is what we currently operate on now, 2 general approaches involve expanding the use of multilateral platforms, namely the growth approach and greenfield approach. Again, you see here where it mentions wholesale payment systems. Who's involved in this PDF, ladies and gentlemen? Again, we scroll back up to the top. Okay, we left off on page 19. I'm going to remember that because this kind of gets confusing. But remember, the IMF was involved in this PDF that just came out in January 2023. Okay, so if we come over here to a PDF that the IMF released, again, scrolling up to the top just to show you all that this is a PDF straight from the IMF. It says right here, International Monetary Fund. If we come back down here to page 43, it literally says, RippleNet is designed as a wholesale payment system without being subject to payment system specific requirements other than requirements posted by banks. Boom, right there it says Ripple's design as a wholesale payment system. Heading back over to the BIS document again, which the International Monetary Fund is a part of, showing you all the connections. Just to revert back to the vocabulary, it literally mentions wholesale payment systems. Boom, right there. Okay, the devil's in the details. Again, connecting the dots for you all. If you are still here, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It goes deeper. So it says right here, general considerations. The opportunities for multilateral platforms to enhance cross-border payments differ between the wholesale and retail market segments. Broadly speaking, existing multilateral platforms tend to process wholesale payments between jurisdictions in an economically integrated area, whereas new initiatives for multilateral platforms tend to focus on retail payments. The presence of other cross-border payment arrangements and how they would coexist with multilateral platforms in each market segment are important factors in the success of a multilateral platform. And then it says down here, new technologies may provide an impetus for existing multilateral platforms to improve their services and for new multilateral platforms to be established, thus enhancing competition at a global level. Check this out. Only a few private sector-led multilateral platforms exist. Boom, right there. Now, again, I am not a Ripple XRP maxi. I'm just simply here to show you the fine-tuned devil in the details and that only a few of these private sector-led multilateral platforms exist, and Ripple is one of them, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Ripple is a wholesale payment system, a multilateral platform. Again, showing you all that I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just relaying information to you all. The IMF has confirmed it. And again, the IMF is a part of this working paper from the BIS that has all of this information in it, okay? So this is where it's going to get even more connected to Ripple and XRP. It says, and again, paying attention to the vocabulary, multilateral platforms could increase industry appetite for facilities that allow surplus central bank liquidity to be rotated between currencies more easily, including liquidity bridges, building blocks. Under certain circumstances, liquidity management and multilateral platforms can also benefit from the availability of liquidity bridges. So why did I highlight the term bridges and liquidity for you all? If we come over here to a Ripple PDF that talks about CBDCs, bridge currencies, and whatnot, we come down here. Again, this is the Ripple PDF. It says the internet became a global tool for the exchange of information because the world agreed to build it using common standards. Likewise, CBDCs can adopt open payment protocols and use a neutral bridge asset to facilitate frictionless exchange of value cross borders. People are sleeping on this information. I'm letting you all know right now, people are not doing their research. Instead, they tend to look the other way and they like to invest in meme coins. If we come down here to page 11, okay, this is where, again, it gets very interesting, specifically mentioning XRP. A neutral bridge asset can support healthy alternative liquidity markets. Do you all see the connection in the vocabulary? Liquidity markets that will allow for frictionless, cost-effective value movement between various CBDCs in real time. To enable truly efficient global markets, a bridge currency must be specifically optimized for payments and support the same speed, scalability, low cost, and security that CBDCs will provide. One example of a neutral bridge asset is the digital asset XRP, which can be used to bridge two different currencies quickly and efficiently. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. There's the connection right there. Why am I reading this document to you all? What does the CPMI have to do with Ripple and how are they integrated and connected? Don't worry, I'm going to get into that in just 1 second. So again, remember, let's recap a little bit. All right. So I just showed you the connection between the IMF, Ripple, and the BIS. again, the International Monetary Fund was part of this working paper. The Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure. This acronym is the CPMI. Again, pay attention because that's going to play an important role. I showed you the document, how the IMF, again, part of that BIS working paper, literally says right here in their PDF that Ripple is designed as a wholesale payment system. We also know from this BIS working paper that there are only a few wholesale payment systems that exist as of today, and that Ripple is one of them. Again, where they talk about cross-currency settlement specifically. And here is a document right here on the Ripple.com website that Ripple has launched 2 new solutions for licensed cross-currency settlements. All right. So now we're going to get into the fine details. How is Ripple connected to the CPMI? All right. Here's a paper from the BAFT. If you do not know who the BAFT is, I'm going to get into that in just one second. But I'm going to show you first how Ripple is a part of the BAFT. Certain trade associations to which Ripple belongs to, including the Bankers Association for Finance and Trade. That is the BAFT, the Bankers Association for Finance and Trade. Again, remember that acronym. These acronyms play an important role with these major key elite entity and individuals. If this paper is not enough for you all, we come over here. We see Ryan Zagone recognized as a BAFT future leader. This came out in 2017. All right. Again, showing you all that Ripple is connected with the BAFT, who is connected with the CPMI, showing you all the connection between Ripple and the CPMI. Either indirectly or directly, Ripple is working finely stitched and fine-tuned behind the scenes with these individuals. They're not just going to come out and say that they are going to utilize Ripple technology and XRP. However, what they are going to say is that only a few private sector-led multilateral platforms exist. Do you see how they switched the vocab to confuse you? Yet here I am showing you that Ripple is one of these multilateral platforms that exists, right? So coming back over here, showing you all the connection between the BAFT and the CPMI, all right? It says right here, the BAFT releases white paper on cross-border faster payments. The BAFT, the leading global financial services association for international transaction banking, today announced the publication of its white paper. Baseline standards and processes must be established to address the open issues that make real progress on cross-border payments faster, difficult to attain, said Samantha Pelosi, Senior Vice President for Payments and Innovation at the BAFT and co-chair of the BAFT Cross-Border Faster Payments Working Group. These issues fall into 3 broad categories of interoperability, business processes, and compliance, and are similar to the frictions that the Financial Stability Board, FSB, and the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, the CPMI, have identified as inherent to all cross-border payments. So here you see the BAFT and the CPMI working together. And guess what? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, again, who's a part of the BAFT? Ripple. Smash that thumbs up button, showing you all how deep this rabbit hole goes. So to further go down the rabbit hole, let's go over to this white paper that was released by the BAFT. This is the last paper that I have for you all. Again, showing you all how deep the rabbit hole goes. The BAFT, this is just me showing you all the connection between the CPMI, Ripple, the IMF, the BAFT, showing you all that Ripple is about to be fully integrated with the restitching of our financial ecosystem behind the scenes, and that these major elite entities, these individuals, do not have it out for your best interest. They're rewording vocabulary. They're using the same vocabulary, putting it in the documents for you all to pick up on breadcrumbs. However, they know that 95% of the population is not going to go out of their way to read these articles, which is why I'm asking, if you are still here, please, and you are involved in cryptocurrency or this market space, share this video breakdown, showing you all how deep the rabbit hole goes, showing you all that here at CYPRX, we actually take the time to do this research for you all, okay? So it says, in conclusion, and this is a document straight from the BIFT, all right? Several successful executed proof of concepts with the last few years have brought cross-border payments into the realm of possible. The BAFT, again, whom Ripple is a part of, believes that to accelerate progress towards this goal, 3 challenges will need to be addressed. First, a common messaging standard for cross-border payments must be agreed upon. Although many governments and national payment systems operators have mandated that the transition to ISO 20022, each nation's implementation differs from others, the BAFT believes that the global adoption of the CBPR Plus guidelines as the basis for cross-border faster payments messaging is an effective way to promote interoperability. And second, a concern is that the inconsistent and sometimes conflicting national AML and sanction regulations will result in expansion processing delays. The time required to process these exceptions in turn will breach the SLAs and erode customer experiences. This is where it gets interesting. This is where I'm going to leave it out all for you guys. Okay, it says, thankfully, international organizations such as the FSB, the CPMI, and the FATF have recognized the barriers to international harmonization. It says it right here. Harmonization. Do you all see the vocabulary that they're utilizing? These elite entities, again, right here, the CPMI, the BAFT, they are harmonized in their initiative to enhance cross-border payments. Do you all see how they say that right there? Again, who is the CPMI? We come over here. This is the start of the video breakdown that I shared with you all. The CPMI, the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, who is connected to the BAFT, who's connected to Ripple. It's all connected to IMF, the BIS. Smash that thumbs up button, share this video breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. Again, going down a rabbit hole for you all. I appreciate the love and the support. Do your own personal research. I cannot stress enough that these documents are readily available to you and anybody else who seeks to do their own personal research. Take it upon yourself, be a mature adult, understand what it is that you're investing in, and understand that our financial ecosystem is being restitched behind the scenes, and these elite individuals are not just going to go out and broadly, openly talk about it in the mainstream media. With that being said, be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you all in the next YouTube video breakdown.
I won't stop till I hear him say